Okay, if I can have your attention, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to encourage all of you to get one of these fans. Now, when I was growing up in LA, that's Lower Alabama, many years ago, you go into church, and churches didn't have any air conditioning back then. And they used to give you fans like this, right? So I won't say fond memories, but I do have memories. Now, the good news here is that we won't take as long as those preachers did. We'll be brief. And in fact, the star of this program is sitting right there to your right? This research building. It's been a long time coming. It is one of the most important things we will ever do. When I first came here and looked at our needs as an institution, what became clear to me is that we needed a place just like this to do research. This is a long time dream come true. We'll have a number of researchers in here. I'm going to leave that to let the dean tell you all about that. We have some of the most exciting things happening in the Rio Grande Valley. It'll be happening right here in this facility. Now, the good news is that we'll start putting people in here, in just a few weeks?
Yeah, this basically next week.
Next week. That's the good news. You know what the bad news is? It'll be full. and so somewhere out here, somebody's got, is there room for another one right out here? Yeah, there's room for a couple more. And so, that's right. The real metric of our success is putting up buildings like this. This is the first. It will not be the last, I guarantee you. Some exciting things are happening. I'm going to let the dean tell you about that. But on behalf of the entire university community, I want to welcome you here today and thank you for your presence here today. It means a great deal to us. As I said, this is one of the most significant things we will do. It is the first step in building what I think will be a massive research infrastructure. Our research has been growing by leaps and bounds, and as many of you know, we started out bringing in a group of researchers, and two of them are here today, two of the leading people in our diabetes and obesity group, and they have been stunningly spectacular. And here's what when you look at this building, here's what you should think. So when we brought Sarah and John here, I think there were 22 of them, and they had about 12 million in funding. There are now 52 of them, and they have over 30 million in external funding. That's money that comes to the valley. That's what you expect right here, and the impact that this has is enormous. But anyway, enough for me. My job is to welcome you, to thank you, and to introduce our mayor. I had some prepared remarks, but Sandra, his wife, wrote them, and so I couldn't read them. So, and so I'm just going to tell you that we're fortunate to have one of the most progressive mayors in the United States. He does in McAllen. He does a terrific job. And you know, politics are always difficult waters, and he navigates through them well. So much has gotten accomplished under his leadership, and we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be doing this without the mayor of McAllen, Jim Darling. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And by the way, I grew up in New York, and they wouldn't know what the heck this is in New York, so Rochester. So I'm gonna give it back to you. You know, it's really exciting for me. If you read anybody read the paper on Tuesday morning? Okay, if you read the paper on Tuesday morning, you know that I'm happy as hell to be here. but it's really exciting. And I went and I had to go to the bookstore, and I bought a pen, and I matched it up pretty good, if you can see that. I got the Vaquero orange. I wore that on purpose. And the last thing I want to know, you know, since you mentioned we need the new research center, I just saw Mr. Cantu running, getting the bulldozers out there, and they'll be starting. But this is about, almost 5 years ago, maybe a little more. It was a partnership between the city of McAllen and Doctors Hospital Renaissance. The city bought this property here and developed it and put the infrastructure in, and we have a long-term agreement with the hospital and the university to build this up as our portion of McAllen to the medical center. We're right across the street from Edinburgh. We're right across the street from Far, so this is a regional facility. And we can see the vision of this whole area growing with research, which brings me back to when we started the hospital, started the medical school. We negotiated with UTS San Antonio, and so I had to go up to San Antonio a few times. And I remember standing on the steps of the research building there, and somebody told me that's the first research building at that campus, and that's $1 billion campus. And so I thought, wow, can you imagine that? Just the future for our city and our region. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is our future. It's congratulations, Dr. Krause and Dr. Bailey, Dr. Cardenas. It's a fantastic opportunity for not only us to bring great researchers down to our area, but to homegrown our own research people, our own physicians. I was at 2 things at the hospital this last week, and both of them featured homegrown kids who went to school here, went to kindergarten, and went to medical school and training all over the country and come back here. So this is an opportunity for our kids to be exposed to world-class physicians, and this is going to be, it is, a world-class organization. So congratulations. I'd like to present the check. Can I do that now? That's not, and Javier and Veronica, JJ, can you come up with me? It's a big check, so I need some people to help me. And by the way, we made a commitment. We made a commitment way back when they created the university, and we decided to do something a little different than most, just write a check. We just said, we want to be your partner, and we want to be in partner, and we said in research primarily, and so this is our commitment to that partnership, Dr. Krause.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. And I think you can cash it, actually.
Oh, wow.
Hey, over here.
One here in the front. There you go.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, Jim. Oop.
Veronica.
Don't cover up the dollar amount.
Get closer.
Just 1 second. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, we're here in the front, we can show it off. Yeah, we'll go down. Now you reach at the front, You know, the next person's the guy that put all this together and has worked very hard, and we're very, very fortunate to have him. Dr. Krause came from, actually, he went to medical school around where I went to grow up in Rochester, New York at Strong Memorial Hospital. So we had a lot in common. When he first moved down here, Senator Hinojosa and I took him to Granjeno, to the dance hall in Granjeno. So we know now he's part of the Valley. We know that for sure. And he's got some exciting news. And Dr. Krause, thank you for coming down here, for working like you have to make this a great facility. And please step forward, Dr. Krause. Thank you.
Well, thanks. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for everyone coming out on this winter day in McAllen here today. Not what I remember in Rochester, Jim. Is it for you at all? No. But, you know, I'd first like to really thank Mayor Darling and the city commissioners. We have Mr. Villarreal here, we have Ms. Whitaker here, we have Mr. Zamora here. Thanks to all of you for your support, your ongoing and sustained support. It's very important to us, and we really honor and respect that partnership that we have going forward. One of the keys for us at the School of Medicine here is to engage the residents of the Valley in every way. To have students from the Valley, as Jim said, who can go to school here, go to medical school here, go to residency here at DHR, one of our other sites, and then stay here and practice. That's really what we want to do. We also want to build research in the same way. And in this wonderful building, what you're going to see is we're going to have neuroscientists and cancer immunologists and geneticists and microbiologists who are all going to work together here in order to grow the research enterprise. It's not only important for the school, it's important for the entire community, because the kinds of things that we study here are diseases that are common in the Valley. And if we can research the causes and the diagnosis and the treatment of those diseases, it will change the lives of many people here. And with our partners, with DHR, if we can keep those people here in the Valley for treatment and not have to go to San Antonio or Houston, even better. No one in the Valley should need to leave the Valley for care. We have world-class care here. They don't need to go elsewhere. With this building, we really are going to address a number of diseases. One of those that I want to focus on is cervical cancer, and this is really where we partnered with the city, because cervical cancer in women occurs more frequently in the Valley. And when it occurs, the mortality rate is much higher in the valley. That's just unacceptable. That's something we need to address and we need to fix. So one of the things we did for that is we have recruited a team of researchers from out of the area who will be joining us here in the summer. 5 faculty researchers, 10 PhD postdoctorate researchers, a team of 15 people and staff that will be filling this building. Those are people working on cancer immunology, and those are new people moving into the valley and continuing with the growth of the economy here in the valley. That is critical for all of us. And they will be the ones who devise the new therapeutics, the immunogenic, the things that really will change this disease over time. And we will look to them and our other researchers in this building. This is going to contain a variety of high-tech instruments. We're going to have flow cytometry, we're going to have molecular imaging, we're going to have genomics here. We're going to work with the South Texas Diabetes and Obesity Institute. So I see Sarah and John Vandenberg. I've seen Joanne Curran. I see Mike Mahaney. I see a number of the researchers from the STDOI here today. And they're going to have a presence in this building, which is going to help us to work with our DHR partners around diabetes in this area. It's a huge disease. It's a disease with great morbidity. It doesn't have to be that way if we can get together and look at new ways to deal with this. In addition, with this team coming, we will be starting a PhD program in immunology. And what that will allow us to do is train students to become the next generation of scientists looking at this area. We're doing that in immunology, we're doing that in genetics, we're doing that in neuroscience. In addition, what we're trying to do with all of this is really make the UTRGV School of Medicine, in partnership with our clinical partners, an academic health system that we can all be proud of. And I think in working together, that is something we'll accomplish. So once again, I don't want to take a lot of your time on this hot day. I think you want to get inside and take a look at the facility. I want to again thank McAllen and the mayor and the commissioners here today. Thank you all for coming out. Thank Dr. Bailey for his unwavering support of the medical school. Please, let's go and enjoy the building. Thank you again.
Site to behold, so please join us.